Behind every good game is a good game developer. The same can be said about most artistic projects, but when you think about a video game, you have to understand just how much goes into it. The last generation of gaming consoles had the fastest selling game of all time, Grand Theft Auto V, which was created by Rockstar North, and within the first 24 hours, they sold 12 million copies. In just 3 days, they broke the Guinness World Record for the highest grossing video game and entertainment product of all time, reaching $1 billion. But for all those great things to happen, it took a little over 1,000 people to dream up and build out the game. This is where the beauty of game development comes into play. Hard work and dedication for years led to a great game where millions of people have been able to live out an adventure and share their tales. I was brought up with a game controller in hand. Originally, they were pretty colors and fun ideas that I could play out and control on my own, in a world that was slowly losing its ideals on the importance of creativity and exploration. As time went on, I began to understand that these discs with worlds in them could be much more than a maze with questions or a battlefield with no end to the fighting. They could be stories about espionage or love, lessons taught in new ways, or even peaceful moments that linger for days. This is when I decided to become a creator myself. The best way I can think of teaching you about video game development is to start at the beginning, explaining who and what developers are, what they've been through as a community and or as individuals, and what they have and are doing in the industry today. Let's start with explaining just how diverse the definition of game development really is. So a video game developer is a software developer that specifically aims to making and bettering video games. A software developer is someone who makes all the little programs you use on your phone or your computer nowadays. So essentially, a video game developer is a person who develops software specifically for gaming on consoles or PC. The thing is, this can be anything from the art to the story, the game mechanics, or even the sound. A developer does it all. Another simple way of thinking of a game designer is to imagine yourself as one. When you were young and drew a hopscotch course, you were pretty much developing a game for you and your friends to play. It's all about the people who create something, test it, and when it's ready, give it to other people to play or use. Now that there's a little more understanding of what a developer is, I'd like to shed some light on what can happen to developers nowadays and what, in most cases, game developing means to designers. For the most part, developers want one thing. This is to make great games, to make experiences for everyone to enjoy, and something that they themselves love as well. What some people who criticize video games and their designers don't understand is just how much goes into making a video game, one small or big. Hundreds of man-hours go into these projects, from dozens to hundreds of developers, everything from studying the scenes, writing the stories in code, creating the characters, or anything else. Even with all of this in mind, developers are trodden upon from people with no knowledge of the field. Recently, a game released called Flappy Birds on the iOS. The simple game was made by one developer, who later had to take it down. Besides receiving money in advertising to the tune of $50,000 a week, when he took it down, he was showered with death threats and hate mail. All because these people were frustrated with the game, and even more so frustrated with him taking it down. A game he created for the sole purpose of people to enjoy, nothing more or less, ruined his life. But even with the understanding of time and effort it can take to make a video game, and the backlash it might receive, developers are still hard at work to bring even more great stories and new tech to the world, whether it's for video games or not. Game development is continually growing and becoming more complex with the increase in technical prowess of the machines that we use today. So some developers have made it easier for up-and-coming designers to create their own worlds, Epic Games being one of them. Led by Tim Sweeney, Epic Games has been working on the Unreal Engine 4, their newest engine to help create video games inside and out. Right now, it's being licensed out to schools for $19 a month. These licenses can be used by any student on the campus, and if the student then wishes to take his world and sell it, he just gets his own subscription and works through Epic to license and sell the game. They get a little off the top, he gets to create his world. On the physical tech side of the things, we have anything from Microsoft's Kinect to Oculus VR's Rift. Now, the Kinect is a camera that tracks your body's movements and allows, in most cases, a one-to-one connection with an avatar on screen. Next, the Oculus Rift, which was recently brought out by Facebook for $2 billion, is a head-mounted display used for what some are boasting as the best virtual reality experience to date. Both creations have been and will most likely continue to be used for video games of all kinds, but can easily be situated for other applications as well. Putting the player into the game is one of a game developer's greatest dreams, and soon it can be done in more ways than one. And therein lies the greatness of game development, the ability to impact the present and put forth great ideas for the future. At the end of the day, game developers are leading the charge in entertainment, regardless of what negativity comes their way. And outside entertainment, they are pushing the boundaries of what we thought could be possible with interactivity within games and software of all kinds. With the backing of information and new knowledge, I'd like to think that you now have a better understanding of what a game developer is and what they truly can bring, that they can truly bring happiness, fun, and creativity to the world around us. While it may seem grandiose to think that one man can create an entire world, just remember that it isn't just one man or one team. It's the cultivation of ideas and dreams from thousands of people, developers or not, that can help piece together a universe unlike the one we live in. As the old man from The Legend of Zelda tells us at the beginning of our adventure, it's dangerous to go alone.